A very good morning to all friends. Today we are going to discuss one of the important or we can say valuable chapter of ancient Indian history, and that is sources of ancient Indian history. So let's come and discuss about the introduction part of sources. The sources make history. In other words, any attempt at writing history is not possible without the help of sources. History written without the source materials is no history. It may be called as tale or a piece of story. Secondly, sources make history a living, dynamic and flowing subject. Hence, we can say that sources constitute the very heart and soul of all history. In the absence of any authentic history of ancient India, the historical data has been collected by the modern historians from the following scattered sources of Indian history, which may be classified under the five categories. Of those categories, the four are considered as indigenous and one is foreign. Those were, that is the types of sources. Number one, books and other ancient historical writings. Second, archaeological sources, which includes the old buildings, monuments and works of art. Third, inscriptions or the epigraphic evidence. Fourthly, the coins or the numismatic evidence. Last, the foreign accounts, which almost exclusively consists of the accounts which were left by the foreigners. So let's come to next slide, that is books and other ancient historical writings. The oldest available books under the Vedic literature are the Vedas. These are four in number, that is Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda and Atharva Veda. Though they are chiefly religious books, yet one gets from them the enough information about the social, political, economic life of the people in that age. We also learn a lot from the Vedas about the coming of Aryans, their expansion and the daily life in the country. The Ramayana and Mahabharata are considered as the two great epics which tell us about the social, political, religious and economic life of the people of that era. The Jatakas we can consider as the one of the prominent works of Buddhist literature. They provide us valuable information about the society of that age. The Tripitakas is another piece of literature which contains a collection of the preachings or we can say teachings of Lord Gautam Buddha. The Jaina accounts, for example, the Angas and Upangas, were also of great importance in order to know about the principles of Jainism. So let's discuss the next slide, that is the secular literature. Under the secular literature come historical and other books. The most important among the historical book is Kalhana's Rajatarangini. That is, Rajatarangini tells about the story of Kashmir. Some of the prominent works of such ancient period were as follows. First, Harsacharita by Banabhatta, Vikramadka Dev Charita by Bilhana, Arthashastra of Kautilya, Prithviraj Raso by Chand Bardai, Nav Sasanka Charita by Padmagupta, Mudra Rakshasa of Visakadatta. These were considered some of the important works under the secular literature. So let's come to next slide, that is inscriptions or we can say epigraphy. The inscriptions supply valuable historical facts. The study of inscription is known as epigraphy. The inscriptions are also seen on rocks, pillars, stones, walls, buildings and body of temples. They are also found on seals and copper plates. In ancient times we see that copper plates were mainly donated to the Brahmins by the kings of ancient period. Some of the valuable epigraphic sources are: 1. The Hathigompa inscription of Kharavela. 2. The Ahiol inscription of Pulakashin II. 3. The Ashokan inscriptions, or we can say the rock edicts. 4th, Prayaga Prasasti of Samudragupta. Let's come and discuss about the next slide, that is the coins or the numismatics. The study of coins is called numismatic. The numismatic evidence is important in order to determine the chronology of dates, the property, territorial extents, expansion, religion and relation with the neighboring countries of the reigning king and dynasties. The coins alone tell us about the history of Saka dynasty, Kushanas, Scythians, Parthians and Bactrian Greeks. All those dynasties were important during the ancient times. The Kushana coins point out the relationship between India and Rome in the matter of business and other purposes. The most available earliest coins were called as the Panchmat coins. The symbols on the Panchmat coins have been divided into the following categories. Like we see on the Panchmat coins, the symbols like the simple symbols, animals figures, birds, rivers and human figurines. So let's come and discuss the next slide, and that is the accounts of foreigners, or we can say the foreigner account. From very ancient times, foreigners visited India. Some of them left valuable accounts of their travels or visits. The ancient Greek and Roman historians also wrote about India from their knowledge and information. Some of the marvelous works of such foreign accounts were: number 1, Indica of Megasthenes; number 2, Fokyoki of Fahian; thirdly, Siyuki of Wensang, and one of the prominent Muslim source which was famous during the ancient time and also gives information about Muslim society, that is Tahqiq-e-Hind, written by Al-Biruni. Lastly, let's discuss about the conclusion part, that is sources played a very important or crucial role in providing us information about the social, political, economic and religious conditions of the ancient society as well as the people of that time. To conclude, we may say safely that though there was no historians like Herodotus or Thucydides in India, but there was enough material or evidences with which the history of ancient India can easily be reconstructed. So that's it for sources of ancient Indian history. Thank you.